Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cast from the Crypt, the podcast all about Tales from the Crypt and anything else hilarious and terrifying. I am your host, CJ Roby, and hey, hi, we've got an episode for you. So this episode, well, all right, so this is the bottle episode of this season. And what I mean by that is, like there's always the episode where it's just like, all right, we're just going to put them in like one place and they're just going to like hang out around there and just explore that space for a while because we don't really have the budget to be like traveling or like going anywhere, finding locations and shit. So this episode takes place in like only like it's a very character driven episode as opposed to like event driven. That's what I mean about that. So this is episode 5 of Tales from the Crypt. This is Lover Come Hack to Me. And I mean, since look, we're about to be at the end of the season. This season's only 6 episodes long. They only got a 6 episode first season, and I mean, technically the pilot was like 3 episodes. Like they dropped 3 episodes on the same day. So I mean, all their money probably went into those few episodes, and the back end was paid attention to a little less because I mean Sin Deep, they didn't really need too much for that, and then like this one it's but it's fine. They're fine episodes, okay. They're not my favorite episodes, but we will get into my favorites at the end of the season because there will be a season 1 wrap up episode in 2 weeks. In a couple of weeks we're going to do that because next episode is going to be the season finale of season 1. So since we're getting so close to the end of this season, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what is to come for Tales from the Crypt. They so This was, as you know, it was an insanely popular show. It actually spun off a couple of shows for that was like within the Tales from the Crypt umbrella. And those shows were Secrets of the Crypt Keeper's Haunted House and Tales from the Crypt Keeper. And both of those, for some reason, both of those are fucking kid shows. I have no idea why they would turn the fucking Crypt Keeper into a child icon, but here we are looking at a cartoon Crypt Keeper with like goosebump stories for children, and then a fucking like Legends of the Hidden Temples style fucking weird ass game show called Secrets of the Crypt Keeper's Haunted House, which for a TV show title, it's whatever. But on that, they played a bunch of games, and it was a game show for kids, more shit for kids. I don't understand how they went from HBO, a horror anthology series, just being like, we're on HBO. We can show all the titties and fucking blood that we can fit into one show. And then after a couple of years, they're just like, ooh, wait a minute. You know who would really love this? Kids. Aw, man. The children's would love this Crypt Keeper guy. He's so adorable. He's so cuddly. Just look at him. He is definitely going to. Kids are gonna want to dress up like him for Halloween. They're gonna want to be him when they grow up. He's gonna be a national sensation for the children's. I don't understand their thinking because like I remember. You know what? Actually, I have to thank them for that decision because the reason that I stopped being so afraid of the Crypt Keeper when I was a kid is because I saw him on fucking Kids WB. Like he had like a whole section. It was probably like a Halloween thing, but it was just like, oh, Kids WB, hosted by the Crypt Keeper. Hey, kids. It was just like, what the fuck? Why are you here on my Saturday morning cartoons? But yeah, so so I guess they were trying to soften his image because he was just too terrifying. He was too terrifying, and they needed to be like, hey, look, kids, he's terrifying and hilarious. Ha ha ha. Kids like puns, don't they? Puns about murder and shit? Yeah, they love it. I just don't know what they were thinking. So we're just gonna get right into the episode. But before we do that, we gotta go over our top 5 credits of the episode. So let's see what else these people have been up to, the makers and the cast of this episode. Because as you know, if you've actually if you've been listening to this by now, you know that like everybody was on this show, and we're just getting started. We've already had some pretty big names. So right now I want to go over the top 5 for this episode real quick. So, my CJ's top 5 credits for this episode. Number 5, Craig Clark. Craig Clark is the sound editor on this episode, so he gets all the sounds that were recorded on in this one house that they were at. I don't even know if it was like a full house, if they just like built a 2-room set or something, whatever. He got all this and he put it all together. He also did that on 2001 Maniacs. 2001 Maniacs with oh no, why Robert Englund. Robert Englund, one of his later horror movie roles. I so like I saw 2000 Maniacs like way back, and I don't remember anything about it. Like other than the fact that Robert Englund was on it. I think I got it in like a fucking bargain bin or some shit like way back. I don't know. I don't remember. All I remember is Robert Englund, and he's great in everything. Number 4 is Richard Eden, who plays Peggy's dad in the episode. And you might know Richard Eden if you're a fan of RoboCop, because he is RoboCop. But you gotta be a real big fan, because he's not RoboCop in the movie. That's Peter Weller. He's RoboCop on the RoboCop TV show. Richard Eden. And you gotta be a hardcore ass RoboCop fan to have watched the RoboCop TV show. But he ended up getting a bump up. He got to actually be RoboCop in RoboCop 3, or was it 4? I think it might have been 4. Was there a RoboCop 4? Who knows? All right. So, number 3. Number 3 is Tom Holland. Yes, that's right. Tom Holland is the director of this episode, and oh, I can't believe that Spider-Man himself directed this episode back in the 80s. Holy shit. That's crazy. No, it's not that Tom Holland because he's like 13. I don't know how old Tom Holland is. He's younger than me. But he is actually the director of Child's Play, which does land him a spot on this top 5 list, other than being Spider-Man. Number 2, James Thornton. No, James Thornton is the editor of this episode, and he was also the editor of one of my favorite movies, Spawn. That's right. Fuck yeah. This dude was the editor for Spawn. He made sure that movie came together in all of its glory like it did. And you know what? I thank you, James Thornton, because I fucking love that movie. Uh, number. Oh, yeah, we're already at number one. Oh my goodness. Time flies so fast when you're having fun podcasting. Number one. The number one credit is Amanda Plummer herself, the star of our episode. She's been in things, but you might recognize her best as Honey Bunny in Pulp Fiction. Yeah, she was one of the robbers in the beginning that held up the diner. So that's her, but that's not what she's on this list for. She is on this list because she played a role in Hannibal. God damn it, I love that show. Hannibal was so good. She's in an episode. She was a serial killer. She was the one who put bees in people's heads and just sent them out into the world, just brainless and eyeless and full of bees. So that was her whole serial killer deal. And that's the end of top credits. That is top credits for this episode. And we are going to get right into the recap after this word from our sponsors. Hello everyone. Richard Scary. Yeah, Richard Scary here to talk to you about Acme Acne Cream. It's the only product that you'll need for all of your facial scare needs. Oh God. One-stop shop for all of your facial scare needs. It accentuates boils, scars, and acne all over the place. Isn't that what it's not supposed to? Oh God.
Keep breathing.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Please, just buy it. They're making me sell this stuff. I just wanted to intern on the show, and now they're making me peddle the Crypt Keepers. Oh God. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Acme brand acne cream. It's all you need. Make your friends scream with delight when they see you. Let me do a live test here. Open it up here and oh God, oh it smells so bad. Oh, let me just oh God, I can't do this. I can't. Please just let me go. I don't. Please just. Ha 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 ha. What a great commercial. I know I'd like to buy that product. All right, so Lover Come Hack to Me. So this is episode number 5. It drops June 21st, 1989. And this episode is, you know what? I'll just be real. This episode's kind of weak. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, it's just a weird episode, and it's just like we'll just get into it. All right, so it opens with this couple who just got married. They're like right outside of the wherever they got married. It's like a little cottage or like a little house or something, and they're just all happy. And the dude just like, oh yeah, I'm going to the car, and the bride's aunt stops her. And she's like, you're gonna live to regret this. And she's like, hey, can't you just be happy for me? Like, I got married. Like, step off. And she goes to the dude, and she's just like, you're also gonna regret this. You only married her for her money. And, like, you just, like, I love it. I love the writing in this part, because she's just like, you just love her stocks and her bonds and her bank account and her money and her cash and her wads and her... It's just listing all the different things that are money. I was like, damn, lady, like, he gets it. But he's like, oh, what? You don't love all those things? Like, yeah, we're gonna be rich. Ha. So he's just a fucking asshole right off the bat. It's not even like a subtle thing. And like as they're leaving, he goes, oh yeah, hey, you better be out of that house by the time we get back. She's just like, oh well, you can't kick me out. I was born in that house. And I love the line. She goes, oh, I was born in that house. And he goes, well then you'll have to find somewhere else to die. I was just over here just going, man, you were the biggest asshole. Like right off the bat. It's just no secret. Other than to the wife, I guess. But they drive away, the big "just married" sign on the back of their car and the fucking tin cans and stuff. And the aunt smiles at them as they drive away. Ooh, ominous already. Ooh. So the next scene, they're just driving through crazy ass rain, and they end up having to stop because there's a tree in the road, and the guy's just like, oh well, fuck, like this sucks. Like what are we gonna do? And she goes, well, can you move it? Oh, she goes, can you move it? He's like, no, I can't fucking move it. I'll get soaking wet, and we'll be all, oh no. He's just tearing into her for and she's just like, oh okay. And cuz she's the one who ends up getting them lost anyway because he asks her he asks her if they're on the right direction. She's looking at the map and she's just like, oh, I can't read maps. It's like, what the fuck. uh so he goes out to move the tree and he sees a big scary house next to him. Looks like the Crypt Keeper's house, which I'm pretty sure it is. And he goes back in the car and hey, I can't move it. What's up? Like we're pretty much trapped here. We're gonna have to stay in the car. Oh, by the way, where are the keys? He looks at the key thing and they're just gone. She goes, oh well, you might have taken them with you. And oh, fuck. So they have to go inside the big creepy house. They're outside of there for a second, just banging on the door. It's abandoned, of course, because it's a spooky house. And oh, their names are Charles and Peggy, and their names now because they're just arguing right outside of the house. And I wouldn't even call it arguing. Peggy just says that she's scared, and Charles is like, "You're always scared of everything, Peggy." Just he's the worst. He's just the most massive douchebag. So Peggy finds the key to the house, and they celebrate. They go inside, and nothing's. It's just a spooky abandoned house, like it would be. They go inside. The phone's dead. They try to call AAA. There's nothing, and they go in a little deeper. They're kind of exploring the house. They go in the living room, and they see that there's a fireplace and a couch and everything. It's a nice little living room. And right above the fireplace is a big old battle axe, and not just like a wood cutting like regular ass axe that you see like lumberjacks have and shit. This is a legitimate Gimli ass battle axe, just hanging right over the fireplace. So Charles makes some joke. He makes a mother-in-law joke, and it's just like, you know, a battle axe, just like it must have been someone's mother-in-law, because those suck. 90s humor. So after that, they light the fire. Peggy's just like, oh, was this left here for us? And Charles goes, the battle axe? She's like, no, the fire, you idiot. So they light the fire, and Charles tells her to take off her clothes, and she's just taking it back. She's like, oh, what? Take off my clothes? And yeah, it's wet, and we got a fire. Take off your clothes so we can hang it all up. And he says it's about time we see each other naked. So, they're okay, look, I'm not over here. I'm not over here to call people who save themselves till marriage nerds, okay? If you nerds out there want to stay pure till marriage, hey, I'm not here to kink shame. Okay, that's your bag. So these two haven't seen each other naked yet, and she's having apprehensions because she's a fucking nerd. So they light the fire. He tells her to get naked. She goes, okay, yeah, cool. Let me grab my bag and everything, and she goes to get her bag. She turns around, sees him start to undress, and there's just like a little scene for the ladies where fucking Fabio Jr. over here is getting undressed, and there's a little scene for the guys too when when Peggy's just like flipping out in the back of the room. She's just like, oh God, just like the house is haunted by his ass or something. She's just having a episode over there. So after she does that, he says that he wishes that he had a drink, and she's like, "Oh well, we have each other." And he's like, "Yeah, right, each other," and that makes her feel bad. She kind of confronts him. She's like, "Oh well, you don't really find me attractive, do you?" And he's like, "No, of course I find you attractive. Like I want you so bad, babe. Like we haven't had sex, and I just want you so bad." She's like, "All right, well, I wanted to keep myself perfect for tonight because this night is so important to me." Um, After that, he's just like, "Yeah, baby, like let's do it," and he basically just like throws her on the couch, and he's trying to get it on, but he's being uh much like assholes do. He's just like fucking getting all up in there and just like being all over her and shit. She's just like, "Hold on, wait, just fucking calm down." He's like, "What the fuck, man?" Like, ugh. And she goes, "Can we at least like be in a bed? Come on, man. Like this is ridiculous." So they go upstairs, and they get into the bedroom, and they're just kind of like talking. She's feeling better about herself. So they go upstairs, and Peggy comments that the room looks like it's been just made, and that there's even like candles and stuff. So she's like, "All right, light candles so I can go into the bathroom and get changed." So he does that, and he puts the I forgot to mention that there was a gun in the car when they got stranded, and nobody knows whose gun it was, so he just took it and put it in his pocket. But he puts the gun on the dresser all ominously because he's probably gonna kill the shit out of her. And we get treated to a sexy little dress up montage. She's like putting on the stockings all slow and putting on the lipstick, and she's just like, "Ooh, you ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this, Jelly." So he's just like in the bed. He's just all naked, waiting for her. Gun is near the fucking on the counter, and she comes out just looking all sorts of sexy. She's like, "Yeah, what's up? You want all this?" So quick cut to an extended sex scene where they're just screaming, and not even like it's not even sexy screaming. It's not even like Harry met Sally, like fake orgasm shit. They're literally just screaming. They're just like, "Ah, ah, ah," and it's it's so ridiculous. They break a clock with their fucking nonsense. Uh, they're done fucking, and she rolls over, and she goes, "Ooh, yeah, that was so perfect. I just know that we made a baby, and it's only this big." And she holds up her fingers, and he goes, "Yeah, that was perfect." And she's, "Yeah, yeah, it was the as perfect as it'll ever get." So it kind of fades out, and Charles wakes up in the middle of the night to the sound of a car door closing. And he's like, "What the fuck? No one should be here. This is an abandoned ass place." He goes to the window and looks in it, and there are people just outside in a old timey car, and they're all over each other. They're just hugging and kissing, and just like, ooh yeah, baby, like how are you? I can't wait to get you in there. And they run into the house. He's all confused. He's just like, what the fuck? So he kind of goes downstairs and he looks at the couple, and the lady looks really familiar because the lady looks exactly like Peggy. And he's like, what the fuck? What is Peggy doing in this house with another dude? I knew this was some bullshit, man. Like, fuck. So he keeps going downstairs, and he's kind of spying on these two while they're doing their thing, and they're just like they're just fucking around and feeling up on each other on the couch and everything. And they're about to go upstairs actually when he's up there, and she's Peggy, the Peggy lookalike. She's just like, no, wait, I want to do it somewhere special. Let's do it on the couch, like make it perfect. And so he's just like, this is all topsy turvy. What the fuck? So like I said, he goes down there, and they're fucking, and she calls out Alan's name. No, I'm getting ahead of myself. So first off, he sees them fuck, and he's just all pissed off, and he's like, well, whatever, like, I'm still married to her, I still got the money, like, blah blah blah, like, nothing will take that away from me. I don't care who she's fucking. And then he goes back in there to spy on them again, and Peggy says to the guy, she's like, oh, that was perfect. Our perfect love is complete, and we have a baby this big now. And she does the same thing that Peggy did, and she she stands up, and she's just like looking at him while he's sleeping, and she has this whole monologue. She's like, oh, this is the way that love should remain, clean and sweet and passionate, but it doesn't. The passion dies, and the sweetness is left behind, and the honeymoon phase is over, and I'm gonna make sure that our love stays perfect. And she grabs the fucking Battleaxe from over the fireplace, and she holds it up. She's like, wake up, Alan, you son of a bitch. And he wakes up. He's like, what the fuck? And she just kills the absolute fuck out of the dude. Charles runs and tries to stop her, but he like runs through her. He's like, he doesn't touch anything. She's a ghost, or he's a ghost, or something. And he puts it all together. He goes, oh shit. Alan was the name of Peggy's dad. So, oh man, Peggy's dad, like, and mom came to this house, and Peggy's mom killed her dad. Like, what the fuck? No. And then he wakes up from a dream, and and Peggy's next to him, and she's like, oh, did you have a bad dream? Like, what happened? And he's like, oh man, it was so terrible. It was so terrifying. I dreamed that your mom killed your dad in this house on their honeymoon. And Peggy goes, oh, that's weird, because that's exactly what happened. Funny you would say that. And she comes out of the bathroom with the battle axe, and she's just like, I'm gonna have a perfect love just like my mom and dad did. And Charles is like, no, wait, hold on, no, I don't love you. I have this gun here next to me. I was gonna kill you. I swear, bitch, I was gonna shoot you straight in your fucking mouth right after we were done. Like, please, like, I don't love you. She's just got this crazy look in her eyes. She's, no, you definitely love me. Otherwise, you would have killed me. Ha ha ha. Our love is perfect. And so he tries to shoot her, but there's no bullets in the gun. He looks over to the side, and the bullets are on the dresser. Like, she probably took him out. Like, the gun had to have been loaded when he brought it up. So she probably took the bullets out, but he looks, and the bullets aren't there. He reaches for them, and he just gets axed. She fucking gets him. And that's pretty much it. She's just hacking and slashing and whacking. She is Butcher Pete up in this bitch. And yeah, so the next day everything's all sunny and nice. Aunt Edith comes back. Did I mention that her name was Edith in the beginning? Yeah. Aunt Edith comes back and I don't even know why she's there. She comes to like pick her up or something. I don't even know. Because they leave after this, but I don't know. I don't understand why she was there. Whatever. Peggy says that she's super happy that she was there and that the night was perfect. And Edith is like, oh yeah, everything was good. Peggy's like, yeah, we did it, and I have a little baby child now, and it's gonna be all perfect. And Edith goes, all right, good. Well, I'm glad that you got that out of your system, and like, no more men for you. And Peggy's like, oh well, I don't need a man anymore. I've got my perfect little baby, but she's gonna need a man at some point, won't she? And then Aunt Edith's like, oh, yes, of course she will. And I'll love that child just like I loved you and I loved your mother. So we're just going to keep this whole shit going. Ha 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 ha. And then they just like walk off. I don't know where they were going. Who knows? Who knows? It's very confusing. And it is the end of the show. Once again, I forgot to open the episode with what the Crypt Keeper's up to, but he's just being a fucking idiot. The episode opens with there's just a human heart on the table, and he just chops it with a cleaver, just being disgusting and scary. And he makes some jokes about lovers and death do us part and unholy matrimony or some shit. And then the end of the episode is him putting on a dainty little top hat, fancy little cap, and he says something about like run your bride's background before you get married, check her closets, and beware of skeletons unless they're me. And then he closes his stupid ass book, and then it's over. So that is episode 5. That is Lover Come Hack to Me. So before we go, it's time for a little segment. We're going to see just how different this episode was from the actual comic. It's comic versus show. So, this episode was based off of a story from the comic Haunt of Fear number 19. And this story is presented by the Vault Keeper, not the Crypt Keeper. And you know what? Honestly, most of the episodes in Tales of the Crypt so far have been done by the Vault Keeper in the comics. They're not even Crypt Keeper stories. And don't even get me started on the Old Witch. She gets no representation in this show. And the Crypt Keeper just gets all of the fucking credit. And this is why I hate that fool. You know what? Bring back the Vault Keeper. You know what? Next week on the show, I think I'm going to have the Vault Keeper as a guest. Can I do that? Can I book that fool? Because he deserves the credit. But anyway, every week I get another reason to hate the Crypt Keeper. But so let's get into these differences. There's not many, to be honest. This one is actually like pretty much the most dedicated, the most straight up adaptation from the comics. In the comic, it starts off with them being on the road. It starts off with them being trapped by the tree rather than at the wedding and having the whole warning from Edith and everything. In the comic, Charles is he's just a regular ass dude. He's not like a mega douchebag like he is in the show. That was a exclusive thing for TV. And Peggy's like she's less like reserved. She's not as mousy in the comic. I couldn't. I was really trying to like think of a character that she reminded me of in the show, and I couldn't come up with the specific character that I wanted to think of because she sounds to me like a very timid Jennifer Tilly, but Jennifer Tilly wasn't the person that I was thinking of. But who cares? So in the comic they Charles carries her over the threshold as a gag, rather than her being like, oh, it's tradition, shouldn't you carry me over the threshold, and him being like, god damn it, woman, you what do you want from me? um in the comic they go up to the bed immediately. The whole couch scene isn't there, and the fireplace with the axe over it is just in the bedroom. uh and they're still just like, oh, like this place looks like a fucking wreck, like this place is horrible. So like they still fuck and everything, and then in the comic Charles wakes up, not to the cars, but he just kind of wakes up on his own, and he notices that everything in the house is clean. Everything in the room is just clean and looks like it's new. So he's kind of flipping out, and he goes to the window and sees the car out there, and he's like, "Oh, wait a minute. That's a shiny new old-timey car. Like there's no way that was the condition of that is still like that. Like what the hell?" And he sees Peggy's parents come into the house from the door, and then he spies on them again, and he's just like, "Oh, I must be in some like weird fucking like I gotta find a way to get back to 1953. Like this is crazy." So he doesn't get it uh for a little bit of a longer time than in the show. And that's really it. And then everything else happens the same. Her mom is just like, fuck you. Like this love won't be perfect forever, so I'm gonna kill you. And then he wakes up, he's like, I had a dream, and she's like, oh well, that's a crazy dream, and also fuck you. This love won't be perfect forever, so I will make it. And that's it. Those are the differences. So before we go, I just wanted to lay down real quick my shriek of the week. And no, it's not Doctor Sleep. Don't even talk to me about Doctor Sleep. Oh God. No. The shriek of the week is actually another video game. It's always been video games around here. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm a fucking nerd. But the shriek of the week is Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is a game that I really love. It's been going strong for like 2 or 3 years now with constant updates and stuff. And this latest update just added a new killer to the game. So you can play as either a killer or a survivor. There's one killer and 4 survivors. The goal for the survivors is to complete an objective and open these doors out of the killer's little playground area before they all get ganked. And the killer's job is to find all of them before they can open the doors and murder the absolute crap out of them. And it's a beautiful game, and it's so fun. I really love it. And they actually just came out with a new killer, the Oni. And he is a crazy looking samurai. All the killers have powers, and his power is like when he just like injures people, he gets power ups, and if he gets enough, he can go into a blood rage mode and just chase people down throughout the whole map. And he's got a giant club that he just beats the fuck out of people with. It's craziness. It's fucking crazy, and I can't wait to play him and play against him. So that's it. That's all I got for Shriek of the Week this time, guys. That is actually the end of the episode. That is it for this week. Guys, thank you all so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this week. Next week is the season finale of Tales from the Crypt, Collection Complete. about I mean, it's about a taxidermist and his wife, and they get a little more than they bargained for in the taxidermy department. That's yeah. So, folks, if you guys were having a good time and you really like this podcast, hey, tell your friends about it. Tell your friends, any horror fans that you know, or anyone who has ever even mentioned Tales from the Crypt, let them know about the podcast. And you can also go to iTunes and you can give me a 5-star review, and it really helps. It really does. I love seeing your guys's feedback and talking to you guys about this show and Tales from the Crypt. So please keep it up. Talk to me. I want to talk to you. And you can also talk to me at twitch.tv/CJ Damocha. That's CJDAMOCHA. And I'm playing a lot of fun stuff over there. It's also the same for all my social media channels. So, guys, I hope that you guys had a great time, and I hope that you will have a fantastic week. It's Thanksgiving, so stuff your stupid faces with all the turkey you can handle. And be thankful about some things, because you know what? I'm thankful about you guys. I will talk to you next week. See you later. Stay spooky, kitties.